Hello everyone, my name is Spencer Taya, and today guys we're going to talk about everything you possibly need to know about Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is set to release on 25th January 2019. So guys, let's start with the background story of Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oswald Spencer, Edward Ashford and James Marcus, three rich people guys, very rich literally, decided to start a company called the Umbrella Corporation. It all began when Spencer got info on an African flower called the Stairway of the Sun that supposedly have to have some powerful properties. Spencer, along with his university friend Marcus, set out to find the Stairway of the Sunflower in 1996. They discovered it, and the rumors were true, guys. The plant contained an RNA virus that could be used to genetically alter other organisms. Together with their buddy Ashford, Spencer, and Marcus started Umbrella Corporation to give them some cover to research on the virus, which they call it the progenitor. The three men thought they could use the progenitor to turn humanity into a race of superhumans to remake the world into one they could rule. But this is where they actually started pursuing their own agenda, guys. Spencer wanted to use the progenitor virus to create in a new era of humanity, guys, and to be its ruler. He created Project Vesca, a research program to create new superhumans using that same virus. The project kidnapped hundreds of children, guys, brainwashing them to be loyal to Spencer. They were also eventually infected with the strain of progenitor in order to speed up their evolution. Many of the Wesker kids died from the exposure, but a few survived, guys. One of these kids was Albert Wesker. Umbrella founders started to use the progenitor virus to create biological weapons so that they could sell it to the US military, while continuing to fund their evil agenda. They also grew to distrust each other, guys, often hiding the progenitor research from one another. And Ashford built a lab in Antarctica, guys. Can you even imagine that? Antarctica. But he was the weakest of all the virologists. And he worried the other two founders would push him out of the company and the new world order they were creating. He was right, guys. Spencer had Ashford assassinated in 1968. Ashford's son Alexander, a geneticist, continued his work for years and away from the rest of the Umbrella Corporation. Umbrella Corporation built underground labs in Erkley Mountain, guys, which is outside Raccoon City, a town in the mid-western US. Marcus ran one, which also included an Umbrella training facility, guys. Spencer commissioned a mansion to be built atop the second underground lab, one that was full of scary locks, guys, and puzzles and maze-like corridors to confuse and maybe kill anyone not authorized to be inside. When the mansion was complete, Spencer had the architect and his family killed, guys, in order to hide his secrets. The architect's daughter, Lisa Trevor, was kept alive as a human test subject, and Umbrella experimented on her for decades. Marcus eventually had a breakthrough in turning progenitor into a weapon, guys. He created the T virus, a version of progenitor that wouldn't just kill anyone infected with it, but would mutate them into terrifying creatures and turn them murderous, guys. That made the T virus both effective as a weapon to eliminate a total population and capable of easily spreading to other populations. The trouble was, in any given population, about 10% of the people were totally immune to the T virus, guys. In order to make sure that nobody could escape the T virus, researchers at the mansion facility started creating BOWs, or bioorganic weapons, which were mutated features that could be used to hunt down and eliminate survivors and other target, guys. Over time, guys, the remaining two founders of Umbrella started to become more and more suspicious of each other. At the same time, Albert Wesker, who had studied to become a virologist, and Dr. William Berskin rose in the ranks of the company at Marcus training facilities and started to work closely with Marcus. As time went on, Marcus started experimenting with using the T virus to mutate and enhance leeches, guys, and using his own staff as research subjects. Spencer decided to have him killed too. Spencer ordered Umbrella soldiers to assassinate Marcus, with Wesker and Birkelin aiding the betrayal and stealing Marcus' research, guys. But Marcus had created one last creature, the Queen Leech. When the traitors dumped Marcus' body at a nearby sewage treatment plant, the leech was dumped with it. The Queen Leech survived and spent years consuming Marcus' body and brain, guys, which caused it to observe his memories. And after years and years, the leech began to believe it was a reincarnated Marcus and hungered for revenge against Spencer Wesker Skin, and Umbrella. Marcus's facility was pretty much abandoned for years, guys, while Birkin and Wesker continued their research. Wesker also had another role, guys. He infiltrated the Raccoon City Police Department where he became the leader of the STARS, or Special Tactics and Rescue Service, created by the Chief of Police, guys, Brian Irons. In May 1998, strange murders began cropping up in the Arclays. Umbrella facilities in the area had started to suffer sabotage, which included a T-virus containment failure at Spencer's mansion facility, guys, his own mansion. As a precaution, staff weren't allowed to leave or contact the outside world, and the T-virus infection began to spread throughout the lab. The outbreak at the Spencer Mansion facility allowed infected dogs to escape into the forest and around the facility. Bodies of hikers and some random Raccoon City residents were soon found to be dead, and the authorities suggested that the killer or killers had eaten the victims. And the incident seemed to draw a lot of public attention, guys. In July 1998, under pressure from the media, Irons and Wesker dispatched STARS Bravo team to the mountains to investigate the murders. But discovering the murderers wasn't Wesker's main mission. Instead, he had instructions from the Umbrella to enter the mansion facility and salvage BOW samples from the lab and destroy it. In the meantime, he was supposed to use the STARS to gather combat data on the BOWs, rather called as BOWs, in the facility, while also eliminating any witnesses. Okay guys, enough with the backstory. Now guys, let's go on to the story of Resident Evil 0. The Bravo team headed out into the mountains by an helicopter, guys, only for a mechanical failure, the result of sabotage by Wesker, to force them into an emergency landing, guys. Trapped in the mountains, Bravo team started its investigation anyway. Instead of heading to the Spencer mansion as Wesker had intended, however, the group discovered an abandoned military convoy with documents inside suggesting the vehicle had been transporting Billy Coin, an accused murderer, guys. With the soldiers escorting him now dead, Bravo started to suspect Coin might be the killer with whom they were looking for. While most of the Bravo went at the Spencer's mansion, rookie Bravo team medic Rebecca Chambers, one of the player characters in Resident Evil 0, discovered a stopped train, guys, the Electric Express. Boarding it, she discovered that its passengers were all dead, and then started to come back to life and zombies, thanks to the T-virus, of course. Escaping the creatures, Rebecca discovered Coin hiding on the train. The pair decided to work together and to survive whatever was happening. Since Spencer Mansion facility was being destroyed, Wesker and Birkin had sent the train, filled with Umbrella researchers, to restart work at Marcus' former facility, which hadn't been used since his death. But the Queen Leech, which was responsible for the other attacks and sabotage at the Umbrella facilities in the area, attacked the train and killed everyone who was on board. Every researchers were dead. After the Electric Express was stopped, Wesker and Birkin dispatched Umbrella soldiers to restart it, but they were attacked and killed by the Queen Leech too, sending the train towards the Umbrella facility. Rebecca and Billy managed to slow the train down, surviving the crash, guys. And the incident made it clear to Wesker and Birkin that the Umbrella was being attacked by the dead James Marcus. Rebecca and Billy eventually destroyed the Queen Leech and escaped, while Wesker and Birkin separately activated the facility's self-destruct system to wipe out the T-virus and the creatures that they were in it. Rebecca and released Billy, whom she now believed was innocent, and maintained that he had been killed. She went looking for the rest of the Bravo team. Her search soon took her to the Spencer mansion, where things got even worse. Now guys, this brings us to the start of the original Resident Evil. Back in the Raccoon City, Bravo team had been missing for 24 hours, guys. Wesker, still playing the role of the leader of STARS, took its Alpha team via helicopter into the mountain to search for their comrades. The squad included player characters marksman Chris Redfield and former cat burglar Jill Valentine, as well as weapon expert Barry Burton. The team landed in the mountains, but they were promptly attacked by dogs infected by the T-virus. The team's pilot, Brad Victors, panicked and lifted the helicopter away, forcing the team on the ground to retreat into a nearby structure, Spencer's maze-like mansion facility, guys, of all places. The team worked their way through the mansion in an attempt to escape, fighting off the zombie fight staff various experiments and research subjects, including the hideous mutated lizard Trevor guys and BOWS created specifically to kill them. Along the way, they discovered some Bravo team members, including Rebecca Chambers, guys, and learned details about Umbrella's plan and programs. When they found out Bravo team's captain, he told them that there was a traitor in the unit, and Wesker killed him before he could definitely identify the Star's leader as an Umbrella operative. Meanwhile, Wesker forced Burton to lure the remaining Stars into various traps by threatening Burton's family. While he continued to gather combat data from the team's encounter with BOWS, the incident the day before with the Queen Leads had caused Wesker to decide to steal the BOW samples and data and leave Umbrella for a rival company. After he was revealed as a traitor to the remnants of the Alpha team, Wesker unleashed Umbrella's most powerful creation, the Tyrant, on the Stars. However, as soon as it was released, the Tyrant promptly killed Wesker. Redfield, Valentine and Chamber fought the Tyrant and managed to escape the facility before it self-destructed, thanks to the help of Burton and timely return of Vickers. What they didn't know was that Wesker actually had survived. Guessing he wouldn't be able to control the Tyrant, he infected himself with a prototype T-virus strain before releasing it, which allowed him to live through the Tyrant's attack and escape the facility before it self-destructed. Umbrella thought Wesker was dead in the mansion, which aided his plan, but he didn't manage to make off with what he had opened the seal. The remaining Stars managed to return to Raccoon City. Despite what they had learned, the unit was disbanded and the investigation squashed. No information about what Umbrella had done was leaked to the public. While Stars have gone their separate ways, Jill Valentine is still in Raccoon City. What happens to her there is the subject of Resident Evil 3. But guys, we'll save the story for another time. That brings us to September 1998. 2 months after Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0 guys, and the start of Resident Evil 2. Raccoon City Police Department recruits Lion S. Kennedy to join the force. At the same time, Claire Redfield, Chris's sister, is headed to Raccoon City to find her brother, whom she hasn't heard from months. Both have no idea what to expect in Raccoon City guys. This is the backstory of Resident Evil 2 guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, share and comment, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.